Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse talks about making crypto great again and has an important message to share about January 20th. The Kabashi letters reporting that we might see mortgage rates as high as 8% and how it's going to affect home ownership. And one of the last things we're going to be going over, and probably biggest piece of news, is the IRS has decided to delay the crypto reportings until 2026. Make sure you guys tune in this video to find out all the details. Hey guys, Ryan with Big Dog Investing. Thank you guys for tuning in my channel. If you guys could do a couple of things for me, if you guys go to like, comment, subscribe to my channel if you guys have not done so already, click the bell notification down below so YouTube can send you guys notifications whenever I release videos. Watch my videos all the way to the end. If you guys could share my videos and share my channel with anyone. I'm trying to grow my channel as much as I can. I definitely need your guys' help in doing so. On my channel, we talk about anything that's going to be impacting financial markets. This is going to include the political landscape, especially because we just finished an election year. We're also going to talk about the stock market, but on my channel, the main thing we focus on is cryptocurrency. Getting started, today's going to be Sunday, late night. January 5th. So when you guys watch this video, it's going to be January 6th because I post the video roughly about 8 a.m. on Eastern Standard Time. I'm in Arizona, so it'll be at 6 a.m. my time, and I believe it is 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Getting started though, the total market cap for all cryptocurrency right now is $3.52 trillion. This is a 0.56% increase on the day today. Sorry, just a little bit tired. But Bitcoin currently just surpassed the $99,000 mark again. So we were at $99,270. Ethereum right now $3,648, and XRP right now at $2.40. So we did see XRP reached that number 3 spot on the cryptocurrency by market cap. It's just shy of where Tether is right now, roughly about $300 million. So we'll see what happens with this. It's been going back and forth between 3 and 4, but Tether is a stable coin, so it's not really impacted because Tether can basically print money and then also burn their tokens at any time. So we'll see what happens with that, but it's great to see XRP at the number 3, and I think we could see XRP at the number 2 spot by the end of 2025. Now, if we look at our biggest gainers and losers, we see new cryptocurrencies coming into the crypto bubbles in the top 100. We see SPX currently up 19.3%. This is one of the new ones. We see ING currently up 11.3%, AIOZ 9.5% along with Bio, and then one of my favorite cryptocurrencies and one that I hold is going to be XDC, currently up 9.2%. So this is great to see. Getting into our news, we see the Kabashi letter. Apparently a Fed pivot means higher interest rates. So we could see 8% mortgage rates are on the way. What happened to the Fed pivot? So they say right here, passing on buying a home in 2021 is most home buyers' most expensive decision of their lives. It costs $300,000 more to buy a home in 2025 compared to 2021. We can see the comparison below. So if we see right here, in 2021, median home price was $346,000. 10% down would have been $34,600, and your monthly payment with a 3% interest rate would be $1,313 per month. Now in 2025, we're seeing the median home price at roughly about $405,000. 10% down would be $40,500, and your mortgage payment at 7% interest rate is $2,425. So we just see this as like $1,100 more per month to own a home in a 3-year or 4-year time period. Absolutely ridiculous. Buying a home in 2021 with a 30-year fixed mortgage rate means that you spend a total of $473,000 in principal and interest, and in 2025 you spent $873,000 in principal and interest to pay off your guys' home in 30 years. That's $300,000 more, or 63%. In a less than 4-year time difference. Stimulus is the furthest thing from free money. So we do agree with this. We saw the stimulus checks be one of the main reasons why home ownership increased. We saw stimulus checks as well as people just getting checks in the mail for not working. So we'll see what happens over the course of this next election cycle. I do think we are going to have a better financial stability over these next 4 years. We'll see what happens. I wanted to point this out because this is absolutely ridiculous. We see President-elect Trump being inaugurated on January 20th, but just 10 days prior to that, on January 20th, Judge Mertens has ordered President Trump to appear for sentencing in his hush money case on January 10th, just 10 days before he's sworn in as the 47th president of the United States. So Trump, I believe, no, it's on this side, 45 to 47, we got the American flag, Make America Great Again, and we got Trump right there. I do like to see President-elect Trump become the next president of the United States. I think it's going to be great for the United States. I think it's going to move us forward, not just financially, but as well as just the entire United States as a whole through the global landscape. But Trump is allowed to appear virtually or in person as he chooses, a signal that any possible sentencing will not be physically interfere with President Trump performing his presidential duties. So we're not going to see any sentencing where he's going to have to face any jail time. Obviously, he can just basically wipe this away when he becomes president of the United States by pardoning himself. I do see him doing that. We'll see what happens, though. But Kamala Harris doesn't even know the Pledge of Allegiance. So we see our Vice President of the United States. If you guys, again, everything's going to be linked down in the comments below. But Kamala Harris, the Vice President of the United States, says, I pledge allegiance to the United States, whereas I pledge allegiance to the flag. Again, you guys can listen to this down below. Absolutely horrendous. Now, this administration did not fail to secure the border. They deliberately opened it. It was treason. 94 executive orders to open the border. Border wall sold for just not $5 a piece. Razor wire fences forcibly removed. AZ shipping crates wall removed. Sued to remove Texas's river walls. It's time for accountability. We see right here pictures of the wall being sold at just $5. We see the border walls or fences being taken down. The river wall in Texas. Absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. Again, I live in a border state, so this is one of the reasons why I'm talking about it. But again, it is a political year. Now, Elizabeth Warren is now the top Democrat on the Senate Banking Committee. Now, I wanted to point this out because we did see John Deaton, who is a pro-crypto lawyer. He ran against Elizabeth Warren in Massachusetts. He did lose the Senate seat. Well, he didn't lose the Senate seat. He wasn't a senator. But he lost the election bid to unseat Elizabeth Warren. Chuck Schumer did not get elected, so we're going to see Elizabeth Warren as the ranking member. She has made so much money as being a member of Congress. This is why members of Congress should not be allowed to buy stocks, as well as, my opinion, now cryptocurrency. We'll see what happens if any of this can get passed, but we're going to see a huge shift, I think, in Congress. Now, Zelensky says President Trump can end the war, so we're seeing a lot of the stuff. He's not even president of the United States yet again. And we're seeing a lot of Europe, we're seeing a lot of the rest of the world follow suit, kind of knowing what Trump's going to be doing when he's in office. And I do see him ending the war ASAP, something that Biden has failed to do. We saw no new wars under President-elect Trump during his first term, and I see no new wars during the next 4 years over Trump's new 4-year term. Now, this was really interesting, and I wanted to point this out. And I know we have a lot of political stuff, so thank you guys again. This is super important. And if you guys don't want to be a part of my channel, that's fine. You don't have to watch my videos, but I do want to point a lot of this stuff out. So why did 158 Democrats vote to keep? You guys can read this word right here. But people who commit offenses against, women and children and everything else in the U.S. So in September of 2024, the House passed a bill to deport undocumented immigrants convicted of these types of crimes. Every single Republican and 51 Democrats voted in favor. Shockingly, 158 Democrats opposed it. Absolutely horrendous for our country, in my opinion. Opponents claimed it demonized immigrants, but how does protecting convicted predators help anyone, especially the victims? Mario Nafal talks about. Deporting violent offenders isn't fear-mongering, it's basic public safety. Why would anyone keep or vote to keep criminals who prey on women and children? Absolutely agree with this, and we do have a list of these individuals. If you guys want to, you guys can see who they are. But excuse me, one of the big names that came out of this, she's in New York. We go down there in alphabetical order, but we see right here Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and she opposed this bill. I want to know why she opposed the bill. She hasn't talked about it. Absolutely horrendous in my opinion, and I do see her actually trying to run for president of the United States. She's too young right now too, but in this next election she should be old enough. So could we see her as the lead Democrat to vote or to run for the president of the United States for the Democratic Party? In my opinion, I think she will. I think she will lose horrendously, but we'll see. Now, this is absolutely great in my opinion, but we might see Justin Trudeau resign of the Prime Minister of Canada. So we're going to see him actually leave office. I think that that's going to be great news. We saw President-elect Trump joking that Canada can become the next state of the United States, become the 51st state in the United States. I think that's going to be interesting to see. Tesla Cybertruck qualifies for up to $7,500 in tax credits for first-time buyers this year. Now, this is really interesting, and this is because this is basically the Series 2 model. We saw their founders series. They were over $100,000 to apply for this EV tax credit. You need to be under, I believe it's an $80,000 threshold. At 80,000 or below, and the MSRP of these new second-gen Cybertrucks is just below that. So you guys, if you guys are going to be buying a Cybertruck and you don't get one of the founders models, you can get this $7,500 tax credit. I think that that's great in my opinion. We'll see what happens. And I wanted to point out, because a bunch of people are talking about precious metals, going away, and we'll see what happens with it. But money managers seeing plenty of reasons to remain bullish on gold. They're probably going to remain bullish on silver as well, copper, any type of precious metals, following a stellar 2024 that saw precious metals post its biggest annual gain since 2010. I don't own any precious metals, don't plan on it right now. I love cryptocurrency. We'll see what happens, though, in the near future. Yahoo Finance is reporting 88,000 new crypto millionaires were created in 2024, and we saw 6 crypto new billionaires. Absolutely great in my opinion. We're seeing generational wealth created using cryptocurrency. The IRS has delayed its crypto tax reporting rules for 2026, giving brokers more time to adapt and avoid forced FIFO sales that could maximize capital gains. Now, this is first in, first out. So if you guys bought cryptocurrency, and let's say you bought like a price of XRP for 20 cents, now it's $2. But let's say you wanted to buy more cryptocurrency, so you bought in at $1.50, and then you wanted to sell and you're within the 1 year time frame. Well, it costs your first in, so your 20-cent XRP is what's going to get taxed. Even if you said you bought more and you wanted that to get taxed because you bought it and then you, let's say, only made like a 20-cent profit, they're going to do a capital gains tax from that 20-cent mark rather than that $1.50 mark, and you don't have the option to change that. So a lot of the crypto exchanges that were involved with this, and the brokers, licensed dealers, they're like, we don't have enough time to implement these new rules. You kind of just threw this on us last minute. So they delayed it 1 more year for this to actually go into effect. In my opinion, absolutely horrendous. We'll see if President-elect Trump can get rid of a lot of these taxes, especially because he did run on a no tax on crypto policy. I think that'll be great news. Now, getting into our Watcher Guru news, we see Do Kwon. So he was the founder of the Terra Luna network, the Luna token. The price of the Luna token rose over $100 over the course of a year, and then it went to worth like thousandths of a penny in under 30 minutes. He stole a bunch of money and then ran away. So he pleaded not guilty to the U.S. fraud charges over $40 billion in Terra's collapse. He did get extradited to the United States from Montenegro. He tried to appeal the extradition. Montenegro said, nope, sorry, you're going. So obviously now he's in the United States, pleaded not guilty. I do see that he's going to be behind bars for quite some time. Now, Ripple CEO says, today we welcome the most pro-crypto Congress in history, and that was on January 3rd. And then says, Ripple CEO says Trump bull market is real. And we're going to talk about this at the end of this video. Now, we're going to see David Schwartz. He is the CTO over at Ripple. Will speaking on Ondo Summit in front of BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, Fidelity, and more about XRP and tokenization. So in my opinion, I see that this is great news for the cryptocurrency space as well as XRP holders. Now, this is John Deaton right here. Now, this is the guy that I did bring up earlier in the video where we talked about he is the pro-crypto lawyer. He says, 4 years ago today, 10 days after the SEC filed the Ripple complaint, I filed a 98-page, very unique petition of a writ of mandamus, along with a memorandum of law in support of asking a federal court to order the chairman of the SEC to amend the SEC's complaint to only include allegations against Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, and Chris Larson. I argue that the SEC allegations were so far-fetched and overboard that it had effectively sued every XRP holder in the world without naming them as defendants, including users of the technology, along with investors who had no knowledge or connection to Ripple or its executives. Now, this is a bunch of wording. Again, it's all going to be down in the comments below. And this is super important because he wants to lead the way for the Operation Chokepoint. So he wants to be the pro-crypto lawyer. John Deaton has offered the incoming Trump administration to lead a probe into the Operation Chokepoint 2.0. And this is where we saw members of Congress as well as the SEC, try to hinder crypto's innovation here in the United States, and he wants to lead the way. And he says right here, as a former prosecutor and special assistant of the United States attorney, I am very serious about volunteering to help lead a federal investigation into chokepoint 2.0. I would accept the task without salary. The American people deserve the truth, and the truth a hell of a lot more than I or anyone else needs a lawyer taxpayer funded paycheck. I've been fighting the SEC govs, this is the SEC, Securities Exchange Commission, gross overreach for 4 years pro bono, so doing the same thing to help uncover multi-agency coordination and possible corruption related to the chokepoint 2.0 would be both an honor and a privilege. A lot of people, including some in crypto, underestimate the significance of chokepoint 2.0. In the middle of the Ripple case, which I argue was the most significant non-fraud SEC gov enforcement action in modern history, I still describe Caitlin Long and Custodian Bank's cases versus the Federal Reserve as the most important filed case involving the crypto industry, and arguing that the most important filed case involving the concept of free market capitalism, the foundation of America's economic system. And he goes on to explain a little bit more. But he tags a bunch of the Trump administration staff, Trump himself, Vivek Ramaswamy, Elon Musk. And I see that this is actually great news in my opinion. And I would love to see him do this, especially if he's going to do this for free. He's done a very good job in the cryptocurrency space. So we'll see what happens with this. Stuart Al-Radi points out, great work to I.M. Paul Grewal as a former bank GC. These letters scream one message: shut down everything crypto related ASAP, not just to the products and services mentioned. Written directly to the board is a rare and deliberate step. These letters are crafted to send shockwaves through the bank. Sorry, guys, I'm just really exhausted. And he responds to this because this is Paul Grewal saying, we finally got the unredacted OCP 2.0 letters of the FDIC Gov. It took a court order, but you can now read them for yourself. They show a coordinated effort to stop a wide variety of crypto activity, everything from basic BTC Bitcoin transactions to more complex offerings. Note that the FDIC magically found 2 more pause letters in its search after saying before that it had complied with the earlier court order. It had also believed that the good faith was when their sweater further unravels every time we pull the thread. The new Congress should launch hearings on this without delay. And this is, again, part of the reasons why we want to see John Deaton run and become the lawyer for Operation Chokepoint 2.0 and lead that investigation. Now, when we talked about earlier in the beginning, and we talked about the important message that Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse shares, Ripple unlocks $500 million XRP with a promising message. And when you click this right here, you guys will see the transaction. So they unlocked the amount of XRP right here. Ripple sender receiver is Ripple right here as well. The XRP fee is basically nothing, so half of a Ripple token to unlock a crap ton of money. And the memo says January 20th is around the corner. Donald Trump will be in the White House, and we are going to make crypto great again. Client BitHump. Now, I absolutely think that this is a great news and important message to share. Now, whenever you guys send cryptocurrency, depending on which token it is, they sometimes require you to write a memo address, and then sometimes you can put in your own statements. And in this, Ripple decided to make this important message, and then it also gets put onto the blockchain, so it'll be around forever. It is very transparent. This message will always be around, and I think that it is great news, especially to share right before Trump gets inaugurated. Now, Ripple says, backed by over 10 years of on-chain experience, say hello to Ripple USD. So this is Ripple stablecoin RLUSD. If you guys want to read more about it, you guys can. It's going to be right here. Stable, transparent, trusted Ripple USD. And then Zach Rector also shares RLUSD is already over collateralized. So Ripple has a 1-to-1 ratio, so they're always going to be backed 1-to-1. So 1 RLUSD will always equal $1 US. And they are over reserved right now. Currently, Ripple is showing a reserve of 83200, so we see $83,200,000, And then the circulating supply is 77,200,000 issued on the RLUSD. So their reserves and circulating supply, they are over collateralized, which is always a great thing in my opinion. They're one of the most transparent stablecoins, unlike Tether in my opinion, and that's why I think Tether is going to fail. Now, Brad Garlinghouse shares one more message right here. 2025 is here, and the Trump bull market is real. For Ripple, this is even more personal after Gensler's SEC effectively froze our business opportunities here at home for years. The optimism is obvious and very deserved. Today, 75% of Ripple's open roles are now US based, while over the last 4 years, the vast majority of hires were outside the US. We signed more US deals in the last 6 weeks of 2024 since the election than the previous 6 months. Team Trump is already jumpstarting innovation and job growth in the U.S. with Scott Bissett, David Sachs, Paul Atkins, and others at the helm, and they aren't even in office yet. Say what you want, but the Trump effect is already making crypto great again through his campaign and the administration's day one priorities, and I absolutely agree with that. And with that, thank you guys for tuning into my channel. Sorry the video was a little bit rough in my opinion. Again, it is very, very late. I'm tired. I got work in the morning, but I did want to post one of these videos, and I appreciate you guys tuning in and staying tuned for my next video. If you guys can invest with a big dog, stay on the porch. Thank you guys, and have a good one.